Sometimes, we don't realize that what we believe is true love may actually be leading us toward tragedy. We become so deeply attached that the warnings of adults seem like exaggeration, or even nonsense. But later, we come to understand that things went wrong from the very beginning. Emma Walker was a young girl who truly believed in a beautiful kind of love. Sadly, her story ended in a way that shocked everyone. Even though she was shot in the head, at first some people thought she had died from taking pills. It all seemed so confusing. How could anyone mistake a gunshot for that? But it was the reality. And today, we're going to dive deeper into her story. So, clear your mind and get into cosmic mode, because while you're watching this video, nothing else matters. As always, before we begin, let me introduce you to our main character, because without that, the story just wouldn't feel complete. This is Emma Jane Walker, born on March 20, 2000, in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's a quiet, mountainous, deeply religious community. Her parents are Mark and Jill Walker, and she had one older brother named Evan. People who knew Emma described her as sweet, humble, and kind-hearted. She was warm, friendly, and had a way of instantly connecting with people. Everyone seemed to love her. Those who knew her personally only had good things to say. But Emma had one flaw, a trait that, in today's world, can often backfire. She believed everyone was as good-hearted as she was, and she trusted people too easily. Emma dreamed of becoming a nurse. Not just any nurse, but one who worked with newborn and premature babies. That goal showed just how pure and caring she was. On top of that, she was an active cheerleader who brought energy and spirit to her school. She wasn't particularly interested in other activities, but cheerleading was her passion. In 2014, Emma started at Central High School. She tried out for the cheer team and, impressively, was the only freshman accepted that year. Despite being new, her looks, personality, and natural charisma quickly made her well known. During that first year, she met Riley Gall, a student 2 years older who played as a wide receiver on the football team. On paper, Riley seemed like the perfect guy. He was a churchgoer, a decent student, and a football star. At first, Emma liked him a lot, but Riley was still dating another girl. Soon, however, he broke up with that girl and began dating Emma. Their romance started like something out of a high school fairy tale, the football star and the cheerleader, the perfect couple. But things soon took a troubling turn. Riley had promised his ex-girlfriend he would take her to an upcoming school event, and he stuck to that promise, leaving Emma behind. The following year, he finally took Emma. Still, her parents were concerned. They worried that Riley didn't take Emma seriously. Emma, however, was strong-willed and independent. She didn't pay much attention to what others thought, not even her parents. This caused frequent arguments at home about Riley. The so-called perfect relationship didn't last. The couple constantly broke up and got back together. Emma wanted to bring Riley into her family life, but Riley resisted. He didn't want to meet her family, which Emma found strange. He also became increasingly controlling, criticizing what she wore, disapproving of her friendships, and monitoring her closely. Whenever Emma went out with her friends, Riley bombarded her with calls and texts, demanding her attention. His jealousy went far beyond normal. It wasn't about protecting their bond, it was about a lack of trust. And trust is the foundation of any relationship. Things escalated when Riley began sending Emma disturbing messages on Snapchat. In one, he wrote, "You're dead to me now." He also threatened to kill himself if she refused to get back together with him. Out of fear and guilt, Emma often gave in and reconciled with him. Their relationship became a cycle: heated arguments, yelling, breakups, and reconciliations. Emma's parents, alarmed by this unhealthy pattern, wanted it to end. At one point, they even took away her phone to cut off contact with Riley. But Riley found ways around it. He secretly gave her another phone so they could continue talking. For 2 years, Emma and Riley went back and forth, breaking up and getting back together. After graduating high school, Riley enrolled at Maryville College, which was only about a 30-minute drive from where Emma lived. Her parents were actually relieved about that. They figured the distance would naturally cool things off. but Emma and Riley decided to keep seeing each other after high school. Just before Thanksgiving 2016, everything changed. Emma saw Riley on Snapchat hanging out with other girls at college. Furious, she finally decided to end things for good. She knew she deserved better, especially since Riley clearly wasn't taking the relationship seriously and was treating her with disrespect. Her parents felt a huge sense of relief. This time, they believed Emma truly meant it. They hoped she would finally move on with her life. But Riley couldn't handle the breakup. Shortly after, he attempted suicide, drinking a large amount of alcohol and swallowing painkillers. Thankfully, he survived, but it showed just how badly he was unraveling. November 18th, Friday night. Emma's school football team had just won a big game. One of her friends threw a small celebration afterward, and Emma's parents allowed her to go, because they trusted she was really done with Riley. That night, around 11:30 p.m., Emma began receiving strange and threatening text messages. One read, "I have someone you love. If you don't come outside, they're going to get hurt." Naturally, Emma panicked. Still, part of her thought it might just be some kind of prank, maybe Riley's friends trying to scare her. Then another message came, "She's lying in a ditch outside your house. Too bad you don't care about other people's lives." Emma and one of her girlfriends decided to go outside and check. At the end of the street, they spotted someone lying face down in the bushes. It was Riley. He got up, acting confused, and claimed he had been kidnapped and didn't know how he ended up there. Emma didn't buy it. She told him to leave her alone and let her move on. The next morning, around 10:15 a.m., Emma was home alone but planning to meet her mom soon. Suddenly, someone began banging on the front door, pounding hard enough to scare her. Terrified, she texted Riley asking for help. He showed up almost immediately. When Emma's mom came home, she saw them sitting in the driveway talking. She told Riley to leave, and he did. The following day, Emma was still shaken. She even started to believe Riley's story about being kidnapped, since the banging on the door had felt so real. Still, she tried to carry on with her day. Her dad dropped her off at work, and later that night, Emma said goodnight to her parents and went to bed as usual. But around midnight, Emma's dad was startled awake by a loud noise, like a door slamming shut. In the middle of the night, it was unsettling, but he thought maybe it was just their cat. Then he heard it again, louder. Alarmed, he got up to check the house. Everything seemed fine. Emma was asleep in her room, and nothing looked. Morning, around 6 a.m., her parents got up to start the day. Emma's mom went to wake her daughter. Normally, Emma was an early riser. Even if she overslept, she would wake up right away when called. But this time, no matter how many times her mom called her name, Emma didn't respond. She tried shaking her leg, nothing. Panicked, she checked her pulse. No heartbeat. Emma was unresponsive. Her mom called 911 immediately. "I'm trying to wake up my daughter, but she won't wake up. Please, help me." Paramedics arrived quickly. At first, they suspected an overdose or suicide attempt. Maybe she had taken pills, or something had happened in her sleep. Nobody knew for sure. Rumors spread quickly through the school. Some students whispered that Emma had killed herself, or taken too many pills. Riley even began posting about her on social media, adding to the confusion. Emma was well known and well liked at school, so the news shocked everyone. Candlelight vigils and community memorials were held, many people mourned her. Everybody wanted to know exactly what had happened. That's why detectives arrived at the scene. At first they thought it might have been some kind of accident or a death from natural causes. But then they noticed a small hole in the wall. The hole was tiny, about the size of a needle, which suggested the weapon used was powerful. 2 bullets had struck the corner of her bed, so detectives concluded whoever fired knew precisely where her bed was positioned in the room. Investigators began asking Emma's friends and peers whether anyone had reason to hurt her or held a grudge. One name kept coming up, Riley. So detectives went to Riley's dorm to speak with him. At that point, the police were not yet treating him as the primary suspect. Riley's friends were seriously worried about him, since he had recently tried to kill himself. Now, on top of that, the girl he loved had been found dead. They feared he might hurt himself again. But one of Riley's friends told investigators something important. The day before Emma was killed, on Saturday, Riley had told this friend, "I stole my grandfather's gun to protect myself." Riley's friends were worried he might use that gun to harm himself. Riley, however, tried to reassure them that he took it only for protection. Still, by Monday Riley was officially considered a person of interest in Emma's death. Detectives began asking him what he had done the night she was killed. He said, "I was at my friend Noah's house." They asked, "Did you stay the night there?" Riley replied, "I think so. Yeah, I stayed over." He continued, "It was just me and Noah there. Nobody else came, just us." "Are you sure you stayed there that night?" they asked. "Yes, I can say for sure I stayed the night." One thing bothered the detectives. During the 2-hour interview, Riley never once said Emma's name. He kept referring to her as that girl. "He texted me about that girl," he said. When detectives asked, "Which girl?" he answered, "The dead girl." According to detectives, Riley was emotionally flat during the interview, cold and indifferent, as if nothing had affected him. Riley's words in the interrogation included, "I tried to message her all week, but she didn't reply. Then she blocked me. She only said she'd see me if I helped her with her term paper. So I called her from one of my friend's phones." Riley said he had cried and tried to convince Emma to be with him again, but she refused. "Are you crazy? Fix things with your friends. Leave me alone," she told him, ending the relationship. Riley told investigators, "She blocked me. I fell into trouble. They're going to suspect me. I swear to God, their suspicion is wrong. I swear, I didn't kill her." Detectives asked him bluntly, "Did you shoot her?" Replied, "I was very upset. I left my house and went to my grandfather's. I got there around 12:30 and stayed about 45 minutes. Then I went back to my dorm. After that I sat in my car on the street and cried. I looked through pictures of the two of us." Investigators then started asking about his grandparents' guns. "Where do they keep them? How could you access them? Have you ever taken them? Do you own a gun?" Riley answered no to all of those questions. He said he didn't have any gun. But detectives had already spoken to Riley's friends. They said he had shown them his grandfather's gun at school. When confronted with that, Riley still denied it. "I don't know why my friends are saying that. What if I tell you someone saw you with a gun?" "Who said that? Where did they see it?" "Alex McCarty said it. He saw your gun." "Where's the gun?" "I don't know. He said you showed it to him. You said you took it from your grandmother." "I didn't say that. I don't understand why he's saying these things. God, I hope I'm not a suspect in Emma's death. Did I call you a suspect? I hope you're not thinking that of me. Because I would never hurt that girl. Did you shoot at her house?" By this point, Riley was looking more and more suspicious, though he still kept denying that he had any gun. That's when his friend Noah came forward. He told police that Riley had once asked him, "Do you know how to wipe fingerprints off a gun?" Naturally, Noah replied, "What? Of course not." Riley tried to brush it off, saying he only asked because another friend in the room was curious. But Noah thought it was bizarre, and he reported it to the police. After Riley's interrogation, he immediately texted Noah. "Why did you snitch to the cops? Why did you tell them about the gun and the fingerprints?" Noah replied, "If you didn't do anything, then you don't have anything to hide. You shouldn't be worried." Later, Riley told another friend, Alex, "The gun is gone. It's back at my grandparents' house." But soon after, Riley's mother asked him directly about the gun. He insisted, "I don't have a gun. Not at all." That's when Alex and Noah started thinking. If Riley is lying to his mom, then he's lying to us too. Which means, he really did kill Emma. Not long after, Riley told his friends, "Don't talk to the police anymore. I need to figure out how to get rid of that gun. I don't want to be blamed for something I didn't do." These words convinced Noah and Alex even more that Riley was guilty. So they decided to secretly work with police. They would pretend to help Riley dispose of the gun, but in reality they'd be gathering evidence. If the police could find Riley's fingerprints on that weapon, or otherwise connected to him, the case would be nearly solved. The next day, Noah and Alex went to Riley's house, supposedly just to hang out and play video games. What Riley didn't know was that Noah was wearing a hidden microphone, and Alex carried a key fob camera that they set down on the couch. As they chatted, the topic turned to Emma. Riley once again denied having anything to do with her death. "I'm really upset about this," he said. "But I'm scared I'm going to get locked up. I would never kill the girl I loved." One of his friends tried to comfort him. "I feel for you, man. It's tough going through this." Riley seemed to fully trust them. "I'm trusting you guys with my life. If I'm innocent but get convicted, that's 70 years in prison." Then he asked, "What should we do with the gun?" "It has to be gone," Riley said. "No matter what, it needs to be destroyed. If you don't want to come with me, you don't have to." One friend replied, "I'm with you, man. If you toss it into the Tennessee River, they'll never find it." Riley repeated, "I didn't do this. I didn't kill her. Just take back what you told the police. Say you were on meds or something when you said it." The three agreed to go get the gun and dispose of it together. Alex and Noah pretended to believe Riley's innocence and assured him they were ready to help. They got into the car. The first stop was Riley's stepfather's house, where he retrieved the gun. Then they grabbed some fast food while the weapon sat in the trunk inside a trash bag. All the while, several unmarked police cars were following at a distance. Alex and Noah were secretly texting updates to detectives through a group chat. Finally, they pulled into a parking lot near the river. They got out and carried the bag toward the water. Riley put on gloves and carefully began pulling the gun out of the bag. That's when Alex and Noah sent the signal. "It's time." Police swarmed in, ordering them to drop everything and put their hands up. Alex and Noah complied immediately, they knew it was coming. Riley, shocked, cooperated as well. He was arrested on the spot. Inside the trash bag, police not only found the gun but also black clothing belonging to Riley, likely the same clothes he wore the night Emma was killed. This strengthened the belief that he had been the one pounding on Emma's door. In the end, Riley was charged with first-degree murder along with 6 other related crimes. It became clear that all of those strange events, the kidnapping stunt, the threats, the late-night banging, were Riley's manipulations. He wanted Emma's sympathy, wanted her to come back to him. He was obsessed. But Emma didn't want him anymore. And in the end, Riley's obsession turned deadly. Now we move to May 2018, the trial. Surprisingly, Riley's defense attorneys argued that Emma's death was not murder but an accident, a careless, unintentional killing. That claim shocked many, because they didn't believe Riley would admit to shooting her himself. The defense said Riley had fired 1 or 2 warning shots to scare her, hoping she would call the guy and that Riley could then rescue her. In other words, they argued he wanted attention, fake a kidnapping, knock on the door, then fire a shot as part of a staged drama to get her to reach out to him. The defense's account was, Riley fired from the backyard and never intended the bullet to pass through the wall. He believed that, whatever happened, he would still go to save her. In their view, he didn't expect the bullet to penetrate the wall. The prosecution called that nonsense, especially given that the bullet struck exactly where her bed was. That wasn't random, the shooter knew exactly where to aim. This wasn't about attention-seeking. It was deliberate. More than 30 witnesses testified at the trial, and the proceedings lasted more than a week. Finally, on May 8, 2018, Riley was found guilty of first-degree murder. Riley will spend over 50 years in prison before he's eligible for parole. What stood out to you about this case? For me, the things that grabbed my attention were how a bullet could pass through a wall and strike the girl, and how first responders initially believed she'd died from suicide or an overdose. I asked ChatGPT about this and got the following explanation. The bullet entered the body after passing through the wall. It was very small in diameter, so it wasn't obvious at first. The bullet didn't exit the body, which reduced external bleeding. Visible blood. In medicine, this can be explained by internal bleeding. If the heart stops immediately, blood pressure drops sharply, which minimizes external bleeding. If someone is in very deep sleep and suffers a blow to the head or neck, blood can pool internally into surrounding tissues, making external bleeding hard to detect visually. In this case, the girl was in a deep sleep and the bullet entered behind her left ear. That caused her to die quickly, leaving little opportunity for external bleeding to occur. If there are medical professionals reading this, please let me know whether such incidents are really observed in medicine. Honestly, I'm still having trouble believing it. I've watched dozens of sites and videos, and in many of them they say responders initially didn't recognize the cause of death. Take care of yourself for now. Goodbye.